For decades, the Toyota Century has been more than a car. It has been a crown on wheels, a silent emperor moving with grace through Japan's streets, not flashy, not loud, but commanding a respect no other machine could touch. Born in 1967, the Century was never meant for the masses. It was built for leaders, for dignitaries, for those who shape nations. Every line, every stitch, a symbol of quiet power and timeless dignity, while Rolls-Royce paraded opulence and Maybach flaunted extravagance. The Century chose a different path. It whispered where others shouted. It stood still while the world rushed forward, and in that stillness, it became eternal. The return for years, it remained hidden, reserved, exclusive, almost untouchable, a machine less about driving it and more about presence, a rolling sanctuary that spoke only one language, respect. But luxury has changed. Technology has redefined prestige, and the world began to wonder, would the Century fade into history or rise again? Reborn for a new era? Now, in 2025, the answer has arrived. The Emperor has returned, not just to rule once more, but to redefine luxury itself. Exterior at first glance, the 2025 Century does not chase attention. It doesn't scream for eyes to follow. It simply arrives, calm, deliberate, undeniable. The grille, massive, proud, restrained, like a gate to a palace. The headlights, sharp, focused. They don't glare, they stare. Along the side, a long wheelbase stretches with dignity. The silhouette flows smooth, uninterrupted, like ink across fine paper. Even the wheels avoid flash. They roll like royal escorts, steady, composed. From the rear, the stance is broad, confident, immovable. This is sculpted silence, tradition fused with evolution, luxury expressed, not in excess, but in restraint. Interior but true luxury isn't just seen, it's felt. Step inside, and the Century reveals its soul. This is not an interior. This is a sanctuary. The door closes. The outside world disappears. Noise fades. Chaos vanishes. What remains is silence. Silence so complete, it feels sacred. The seats, thrones, wrapped in the finest leather, hand-stitched by master craftsmen. Soft, yet commanding. Polished wood glows with warmth. Chrome accents shimmer subtly. The air itself feels refined. For the rear passenger, life transforms. Seats recline, leg rests rise. Massage functions awaken, screens unfold. Like scrolls of digital luxury, this is not a car, it is your private lounge, your personal retreat. Technology whispers, never shouts. Displays glow with calm intelligence. An AI assistant anticipates your needs. Climate adjusts with precision. Music flows like poetry through the cabin. Every detail whispers one truth. This is not transport. This is a sanctuary. Performance, but even a sanctuary must move. Beneath the quiet dignity lies a heart, a refined hybrid V6, gasoline and electric. Motors working together, not for drama, for balance. It is not a gladiator. It is a ruler, strength measured not in noise, but in presence. Press the accelerator. It doesn't lunge, it glides. Power flows forward like silk through the fingers, smooth, effortless, precise. This is not performance to thrill, it is performance to assure, to remind you, speed is not the only expression of power. Acceleration is dignified, decisive. True strength does not rush. It arrives exactly when it intends to. On the open road, the Century feels eternal, stable, grounded, confident. It does not beg to be pushed. It invites you to flow with it. This is not adrenaline. This is procession, a monarch leading with grace. Ride quality, but the true measure is in the ride. Every bump, every crack, erased. The suspension dissolves imperfections, like ripples. Fading on a still pond, The air ride breathes beneath you. The body glides, untouched by turbulence. Noise canceling creates silence so deep, it feels as though the car itself is holding its breath. The whisper of wind, the hum of tires, the growl of the engine, reduced to nothing. What remains is peace, a rolling temple of calm. Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Maybach, they overwhelm with extravagance. The Century, it balances, it harmonizes. Not an orchestra of power, but a single note, played perfectly. Price and position, but serenity like this carries a cost. Rolls-Royce asks $500,000. Bentley and Maybach, extravagance beyond reach. The Century? Around $170,000. Still expensive, but restrained. For that price, you receive more than engineering. You receive tradition, craftsmanship, exclusivity, without arrogance. Because the Century was never meant for the many, it was built for the few. For those who value silence over spectacle, grace over glitter, respect over recognition. Conclusion. The Toyota Century is not for everyone. It never was. It is not for those who crave attention. Not for those who measure wealth in applause. It is for leaders, for visionaries, for those who command respect without asking for it. If you want extravagance, look elsewhere. If you seek spectacle, there are other choices. But if you believe, true power is quiet. Then, the Century speaks your language. It does not need to prove itself. It never did. It simply exists. An emperor among machines. And so the question is not whether the Century is right for you. The question is, are you right for the Century?